Today we'll be solving linear inequalities. Yesterday we solved linear equations which have equal signs. Linear inequalities have an inequality sign, so they either have a less than equal to, or greater than equal to symbol instead of the equal sign. They'll be solved the same way as you solved linear equations. We're first going to look at distribute, then combine like terms, add and subtract, and then multiply and divide. The difference, though, is when it comes to the point at which we need to multiply or divide the entire equation by a negative number. If that happens, then you will need to flip the arrow, the inequality sign. So let's take a look at example number 1. I see the parentheses. That indicates to me that I first need to distribute the 2. When I distribute, I am multiplying, so 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Bring down everything else, less than 5 plus 6x plus 3. The next thing I notice is that I have like terms on the same side of the equal sign, the 5 and the 3. So I'm going to go ahead and bring those together. 2x minus 16 is less than 6x plus 8. I now want to combine my variables. I like to combine the variables first, so I'm going to subtract the 6x. Two minus 6 is negative 4. So negative 4x minus 16 is less than 8. And then I'm going to add the 16 on both sides. Negative 4x is less than 24. And then the last thing I want to do to get x by itself is to go ahead and divide by negative 4. So 24 divided by negative 4 is negative 6. So the x comes down. I have a negative 6 on the right, but this is the point at which something new happens. Because I divided by a negative 4, the inequality arrow is going to switch directions. And instead of it being a less than, it is now a greater than. So my solution are all of the values of x, all numbers, that are greater than negative 6. So what types of numbers are greater than negative 6? Well, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So those are all the possible solutions. So if we check our answer, I can take any number that is greater than negative 6. So let's pick a nice number greater than negative 6. How about 0? 0 is greater than negative 6. 0 is greater than negative 6. So let's check using 0. So when x equals 0, I'm going to substitute 0 back into my original equation. 2 times 0 minus 8 is less than 5 plus 6 times 0 plus 3. Now I'm going to go ahead and use PEMDAS, or order of operation, to simplify this. 6 times 0 is 0 plus 3. So I get negative 16 is less than 8. Is negative 16 really less than 8? Yes. So that's true. So that helps remind me that I do have the correct answer. Okay, so this time go ahead and pause the video and try number 2 on your own. After you've completed number 2, then turn the video back on and check to see if you did it correctly. Okay, now that you've solved number 2, let's take a look at the solution. We're going to go ahead and distribute the negative first. So negative 5x plus 12 is less than or equal to 10 minus 7x. We're going to move the variables to the left, combining our like terms together. Two x plus 12 is less than or equal to 10. Now I'm going to get x by itself, so I'm going to subtract the 12. Two x is less than or equal to negative 2. And then divide by 2. So I have the x. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. This time I am dividing by a positive number, so the arrow, the inequality arrow, stays the same. It's still a less than or equal to. Even though my final answer is a negative 1 there, it's still, all I did was divide by positive 2. Since I divided by positive 2, the arrow stays the same. And there's my solution. So what are all of the numbers that are less than or equal to negative 1? So let's look at the examples. So negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Those are all less than or equal to negative 1. So let's pick a number less than or equal to negative 1. Let's go ahead and just use negative 2. So negative 2 is less than or equal to negative 1. So what happens when x equals negative 2? So I'm going to substitute that negative 2 into my original problem. Negative times 5 times negative 2. Okay, and again, we're just going to go ahead and use PEMDAS to finish this out. So inside the parentheses, I'm going to do just the left side first. Okay, and then the right side, multiply first. So I end up with 22 is less than or equal to 24. And is that true? Yes, that is true, so that means that my answer is correct.